So you are a leader, right? And part of being in leadership is that you have to have one-on-one discussions with your employees, especially if there are gaps. So here's a simple meeting structure that you can follow when you are having a one-on-one discussion with your fellow employee, right? So the first thing is that obviously you will call them into the office, you'll sit down, and the first thing you want to do is catch up on their personal life. So you want to catch up on their personal life, see how they're doing, how's their family, maybe how's their kids, how have they been doing in terms of life, especially if they've recently faced a personal challenge. So you want to catch up on their personal life, how they've been doing. That should take you about 5 minutes. Then the second thing is that you want to compliment them on something good and positive that they have been doing to contribute to your performance, to the company's performance. Then after that, we move on into the gap, right? You point out this is where we are tracking, and you have to choose one KPI per discussion. You choose one KPI, you point out the gap, you show the evidence of where the gap is, and then what you want to do is you want to ask your employee exactly what needs to be done so that this gap can be closed. Because usually sometimes they will have an idea of what needs to be done. Sometimes you face a situation whereby they externalize. Externalizing meaning that somebody is saying that this problem is beyond our control, and so somebody else needs to do something while we should be able to close it. Or if you have actually prepared for the meeting, you will also know what action item needs to be done either by you as the leader or by your employee in order for that gap to be closed. So from pointing out the gap, two things should come out: an action item for your employee on what they are gonna do, and also an action item for you as the leader so that you can support them in closing that gap. After that, what you want to do is you want to get commitment. So you've pointed out the gap, you've communicated the gap, you have an action item. Now it's time to commit to due dates on what is he or she gonna do and by what date, and also what you as the leader are gonna do and by what date. Once you get the commitment, at least we've had a fruitful discussion. Then after that, what you want to do is you want to look into what other gaps and concerns do they have that you haven't pointed out that you want to discuss. That maybe might take 1 to 10 minutes, because sometimes they might have a gap that you did not point out, and you need to address it right then and there and have an action item in terms of how can you support them. So once that is all finally done, you're going to close off the meeting by also complimenting again. So you're going to compliment them again on something positive that they have been doing to contribute to your team's performance. That's how you want to close off the meeting. So you started off the meeting by catching up on their personal life. You complimented them on something that's positive that they're doing. You pointed out a gap that must be closed, and now you have action items. You got commitment by saying what the dates are, and then after that you also addressed any other concerns, and then you finally close off that one-on-one discussion by complimenting them again and making sure that you look forward to seeing their progress. That's how you can have a one-on-one discussion. Sure.